Hey, 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 you're kicking it with BA, spring of 2022. And as you can tell by what you're looking at, this is the next segment in this series. This one, we're focusing in on tunnel. And at the end of this, I'm going to put a few things together for you to help you out. Let's get started on it. This is page 123, the big 123. And that's our starting point today. He awaited a short time in the station, hoping Marie would join him. The seconds drifted away like weeks, the minutes seemed like months, and when an hour had gone by, to Robert it seemed like years. He waited and hoped, watched in every direction for Marie's beautiful eyes. The eyes he told her he loved so much and always wanted them to greet him when he came home from work, because they were an inspiration. Slowly the hands of the great clock in Union Station, and that's very important, okay, showed it was nearly 12 o'clock noon, and that's also important. Robert listened attentively as the old clock tolled 12 times for 12 o'clock. See how he's repeating that? 12, 12, 12, 12 everywhere. It's all about the 12. There's a reason for that. Okay, and I'll get to that later on. That the blood from his heart was slowly trickling away. Hope was fast giving way to despair. Robert found his patience waning, but that was not to be. He must trust to the word of God, which said, "O ye of little faith, saith the Lord," and must try to find Marie, who meant everything to him. As he last spoke of, the clock died slowly away. Robert started to think again. He finally decided that he would stay in Union Station and have patience to wait one more hour for Marie. He thought that she was playing a joke on him and would surely come by 1 o'clock. None of this is coincidence. It's there and it's important, and we'll tie this all together here towards the end of this video. Robert watched the movement of every woman who passed through the gates of Union Station for Marie, but each minute brought bitter disappointment. His heart, which but a few hours ago was filled with love and happiness, was sad. Robert looked up at the hands of the clock in Union Station, pointed to 1 o'clock. Okay, he's reinforcing all of this on what he's really doing. And by the way, I should have told you in the beginning, that is page 125, 125. Let's get on with it. Page 137, as you can see. The next time that he remembered anything, he awoke on Monday morning with the sun streaming in through the window of his hotel and realized that he had fallen asleep. The little book, Poems That Have Helped Me, lay on his bed beside him. Because the sun was coming in the east window, he knew that he must have slept through some part of the night. Page 152, the big 152. Forward to Tuesday, the 7th day of the month. He had learned that the 7th was a sacred day, and they often talked to Marie about the number 7 and the number of times it was spoken of in the Bible. How God had blessed the 7th day and made it the Sabbath. How many things had come to pass on the 7th day, the 7th month, and 7th year referred to in the Bible. In some way, he felt that on this day news would come from Marie, and he hoped that it would be good. Okay. And later on, I'm going to explain to you where this fits into this. Page 156. As the sun was slowly setting and the day was waning, he watched in sadness because no news had come from Marie. He firmly resolved that he would carry out his intention and place the personal notice in the papers the following day for news of Marie, if something did not come that evening. On page 161, we find Robert Gordon's 21st birthday. And I'll tell you something, this birthday is not like all the other birthdays, okay? So it has special significance. And that's important. I'll continue on. Robert arose early on June 9th, hurried down to the desk to ascertain if any telegrams had come overnight or any phone calls, but found no telegrams and no messages. He was yet early for the morning mail. Robert secured the morning papers and saw his personal notices, which he had instructed the papers to continue to run. He had added the name of the hotel and telephone number so that Marie could reach him promptly. Somehow he had a feeling that just about 11 or 12 o'clock that day, Marie would call at the hotel, or he would have some good news from her. Okay. One thing. Notice that in these sections, and we've skipped a lot of the poetry and all that stuff because I'm trying to point something out directly. But notice how these directly also tie in with Marie. And I'll explain that connection later on why he does that. Page 162. He decided to forget about the market as everything was moving along his way and returned to the hotel to wait for news of Marie. He still had hope or an imagination that around 11 or 12 o'clock, so he keeps repeating that 12 o'clock, Marie would either come to the hotel or some news from her would be received. Upon returning to the hotel, he found no mail and no telegrams or telephone messages awaiting him. When 11 o'clock came, Robert's mind reverted back to Sunday when he was watching the clock in the Union Station. This is a flashback. Hoping and waiting for Marie to appear. Robert became a little restless and more than anxious as the minutes went by. The clock struck 12 on his birthday and no Marie and no news of her. A few minutes after 12, his bell rang and a messenger boy appeared with a telegram. Ah, Robert thought, this is from Marie or some news from her. But it was a telegram of congratulations from his old pal, Walter, who asked that he convey the first news which he had received in regard to Marie and stated that he hoped da-da-da-da-da. Okay? All right. Now we started and stopped with the clock. It's important to point that out. And what I'm going to do next for you is I'm going to put some of these parts together for you, help you out here, okay? And let's get started on that now.